Have you felt something shift in someone you love lately? Maybe a quiet change in their energy or a look in their eyes that seems a little more distant than before? You try to explain it away. They're just getting older, you tell yourself. But deep down, something doesn't sit right. The truth is, the body often begins to whisper before it ever breaks down. In many cases, there are gentle, almost invisible warnings that appear months, even a year, before an elderly person reaches their final stage of life. And because these signs start out so softly, many families miss them until it's too late to prepare, to say what matters most, or to simply be there with presence and peace. This video is your quiet companion in that journey. We'll walk through 5 powerful signs that often emerge in the last year of life, signals that are easy to ignore, yet deeply meaningful if you know how to recognize them. Understanding these changes isn't just about knowing, it's about loving better, about giving care with clarity, about creating space for comfort, dignity, and connection in the moments that matter most. Why should you stay with me? Because this knowledge may help you offer your loved one the kind of presence that doesn't just ease their transition, but fills it with grace. You'll learn how to respond, not with fear or helplessness, but with calm awareness. And perhaps most importantly, with love that speaks louder than words. So stay close. These aren't just medical signs, they're messages, quiet ones, that deserve to be heard. And once you know what to look for, you can help make the end of life something that feels not like losing, but like honoring. If you find this video valuable, subscribing helps us continue offering support and insight to more families like yours. And if something touches your heart today, let us know in the comments below. Just type 1 if you'd like to see more like this, or 0 if there's something we can do better. Let's begin. 1. When the weight slips away, and so does strength. It might begin quietly. A pair of pants that suddenly feels loose. A favorite shirt that drapes differently. You may even notice your loved one picking at their meals, saying, "I'm just not that hungry today." At first, it seems harmless, just another part of growing older. But when someone starts losing weight without trying, especially in their later years, it's rarely just about getting thinner. It's the body whispering that something deeper is changing. Changes that no diet plan or protein shake can truly reverse. As we age, our bodies naturally slow down. But when the scale drops steadily and energy seems to fade with it, that's a sign worth listening to. The ability to absorb nutrients weakens. Muscles, once steady and strong, begin to fade, quietly stealing balance, stability, and the strength to do even simple tasks. This isn't just about physical appearance. It's about independence. It's about dignity. And when muscle mass declines, everything from standing up to fighting off a cold becomes harder. The immune system falters. Fatigue sets in. And bit by bit, your loved one may retreat, not just from the dinner table, but from life. Their appetite may vanish, not from choice, but from the body's fading signals. Food loses its flavor. Meals feel more like chores than pleasures. Some skip meals without even realizing. Others simply stop caring. And behind that, deeper conditions may be at play. Illnesses like cancer or heart disease that go undetected until much later. Even emotional pain, like depression or memory loss, can quietly pull them away from the nourishment they need. Naturally, you want to help. You bring them their favorite soup, a smoothie, a meal from a happier time. But when weight keeps slipping away despite your love, it may be time to see it for what it is. The body preparing for a quieter path. Not one to be feared, but one to be honored. In these moments, it's not about pushing more food. It's about offering care that feels gentle. Soft meals, warm drinks, and above all, your presence, your calm voice, your steady hand, your love. Because what's happening isn't just a change in appetite, it's a message from the body saying, "I'm slowing down now." And when we recognize that with grace, we stop chasing fixes and start creating peace. If you're noticing this in someone you love, don't rush past it. Don't panic. Just pause, be still, listen. Let your compassion guide the way, and let each moment become a memory, not out of fear, but from a place of deep, unwavering love. 2. When even breathing feels like effort. This isn't just tiredness. It's the kind of exhaustion that settles deep into the bones, where even opening your eyes in the morning feels like lifting weights. For someone nearing the final stretch of life, fatigue isn't something that goes away after a good night's sleep. It stays, It lingers, and it slowly steals their ability to move, speak, or even engage with the world around them. Tasks that once took no thought, pouring a cup of coffee, tying a shoe, saying a few words, begin to feel monumental. Getting out of bed might take every ounce of strength they have left. A simple walk across the living room feels like crossing a desert. It's not that they've given up, it's that their body is holding on. You see, in these later stages, the body makes choices we can't control. Energy, once used for living, laughing, creating, is now quietly rerouted just to keep the essentials running. The heart beating, the lungs moving, the organs surviving. Muscles don't get the oxygen they need. The metabolism slows like an old clock winding down. And sleep, so much sleep, is no longer a luxury. It's the only way the body knows to protect what little life remains. But here's where it truly hurts. This kind of weakness doesn't just affect the body, it touches the spirit. A loved one who once stood tall and proud may now feel frustrated, even ashamed, that they need help getting dressed, that they can't finish a sentence without losing breath. They may pull away, go silent, not out of disinterest, but out of quiet grief for what they used to be able to do. You might think they just need to push through. But no, the truth is this is their body's way of asking for grace, for rest, for stillness. And in that stillness, something beautiful can still happen. You can meet them where they are, sit beside them, hold their hand, talk when they have strength, and just be when they don't. Because at this point, it's not about getting things done. It's about how they feel in your presence, whether they feel safe, understood, and surrounded by love. So if you're watching someone you love fade this way, don't try to fix it. Just walk with them, gently, quietly, with open hands and an open heart. When everything else is gone, the love you offer, soft, patient, and steady, is what they'll feel most. And it's what they'll remember longest, even if they no longer have words to say it. 3. When the mind begins to let go. It's one of the most tender heartbreaks a family can face, watching someone you love slowly fade, not in body, but in mind. At first, it might look like simple forgetfulness, misplacing keys, repeating questions, calling someone by the wrong name. But over time, you begin to feel it's something more, something deeper. The person who once lit up every room with stories, with laughter, with razor-sharp memory, now struggles to follow a simple conversation. They pause, look confused, lose their train of thought. You ask yourself, where did they go? But they're still right there, sitting beside you, holding your hand. Only now, their mind is somewhere you can't quite reach. It's like watching a photograph slowly blur. Familiar places feel unfamiliar. A house they lived in for decades now feels like a stranger's. They may wander, sit silently for hours, or stare out the window not out of choice, but because their brain, once vibrant and full, is now too tired to keep up. And the hardest part? The withdrawal. They're not pulling away because they don't care anymore. They're pulling away because it's exhausting to keep up. Words become a puzzle. Emotions get tangled. Simple conversations feel like climbing uphill. You may try to bring them back, remind them of names, places, old memories, but sometimes they don't return. Not fully, and that's the part that tears at the soul. Because they're still here, and yet not quite. You're not just grieving the future, you're quietly grieving the present, grieving someone you love in real time while they're still breathing beside you. But here's what matters most. Even when their memory slips, your love doesn't. Even when they forget who you are, they can still feel who you are to them. Your tone, your touch, your patience. These things reach deeper than memory ever could. So if you're walking this path with someone, don't force what used to be. Instead, meet them where they are. Sit in their silence. Hold their gaze. Speak softly, even if they don't respond. Because in their quiet confusion, your calm becomes their anchor. This isn't about fixing. It's about feeling. About staying close, even when words drift away. Creating moments of safety and peace, even in the fog. And when the mind can no longer hold on, love is what remains. Not just any love, but your love. The love that says, I'm here. You're not alone. That's what they'll feel. That's what endures. Even when memories disappear, your presence will be the thing they remember, without ever needing to speak a word. 4. When the body can no longer bounce back. There comes a time, near the end of life, when the body starts to quietly surrender. It doesn't happen all at once, but in small, aching ways. A cough that lingers, a sore that won't heal, a fever that keeps returning. And suddenly, the strong immune system that once fought off colds and cuts without hesitation begins to fade. You might notice it first in the little things, a bruise that darkens instead of fading, a tiny cut that stays red and tender for weeks. They used to heal quickly. Now, even the smallest ailments feel like uphill battles. And for you, standing by, it's confusing and heartbreaking. Why can't they get better this time, you ask? The answer is simple, yet heavy. The body is slowing down. The immune defenses, once sharp and responsive, are growing tired. Circulation weakens. Organs don't function like they used to. Even antibiotics, the miracle workers of younger days, don't seem to work the same anymore. And here's what makes it harder. These infections often don't look like you expect. There may be no high fever, no shivering. Instead, you might see more confusion, a loss of appetite, a quiet exhaustion that lingers like a shadow. Families often respond with urgency, scrambling for another pill, another treatment, hoping to bring their loved one back to normal. But sometimes, healing isn't the goal anymore. Sometimes, the miracle isn't found in medicine, it's in comfort. In these moments, what your loved one may need most isn't more medicine. It's your gentle presence, a cool washcloth, a calm room, a hand to hold when they feel lost in the fog of fatigue, hydration, rest, kindness. It's not easy to let go of the instinct to fight. Watching someone you love get knocked down by one illness after another feels like an endless cycle of helplessness. But this is also a sacred time, a chance to show them grace, to offer a softness that no medicine can provide. In the end, it's not the infection that defines this chapter. It's how you walk beside them through it. It's the look in your eyes that says, I'm here, you're safe, you are still deeply loved. Because as the body fades, what remains, what endures, isn't strength or resistance. It's the love they feel in every quiet moment you share. 4. When the body can no longer bounce back. There comes a time, near the end of life, when the body starts to quietly surrender. It doesn't happen all at once, but in small, aching ways. A cough that lingers, a sore that won't heal, a fever that keeps returning. And suddenly, the strong immune system that once fought off colds and cuts without hesitation begins to fade. You might notice it first in the little things, a bruise that darkens instead of fading, a tiny cut that stays red and tender for weeks. They used to heal quickly. Now, even the smallest ailments feel like uphill battles. And for you, standing by, it's confusing and heartbreaking. Why can't they get better this time, you ask? The answer is simple, yet heavy. The body is slowing down. The immune defenses, once sharp and responsive, are growing tired. Circulation weakens. Organs don't function like they used to. Even antibiotics, the miracle workers of younger days, don't seem to work the same anymore. And here's what makes it harder. These infections often don't look like you expect. There may be no high fever, no shivering. Instead, you might see more confusion, a loss of appetite, a quiet exhaustion that lingers like a shadow. Families often respond with urgency, scrambling for another pill, another treatment, hoping to bring their loved one back to normal. But sometimes, healing isn't the goal anymore. Sometimes, the miracle isn't found in medicine, it's in comfort. In these moments, what your loved one may need most isn't more medicine. It's your gentle presence, a cool washcloth, a calm room, a hand to hold when they feel lost in the fog of fatigue. Hydration, rest, kindness. It's not easy to let go of the instinct to fight. Watching someone you love get knocked down by one illness after another feels like an endless cycle of helplessness. But this is also a sacred time, a chance to show them grace, to offer a softness that no medicine can provide. In the end, it's not the infection that defines this chapter. It's how you walk beside them through it. It's the look in your eyes that says, I'm here, you're safe, you are still deeply loved. Because as the body fades, what remains, what endures, isn't strength or resistance. It's the love they feel in every quiet moment you share. 5. When every breath becomes a farewell whisper. Sometimes the final signs don't come with drama, but with silence. A slowing breath, a cool hand, a long pause between inhales that makes you hold your own. These quiet changes are among the clearest signs that the body is letting go, and they're often the hardest to witness. At first, it's subtle. Their breathing becomes more shallow, maybe a bit uneven. Then one day, you realize the rhythm has changed. It's no longer steady. It's broken. Some breaths come quickly and lightly. Others seem far apart, as if the body is gently slipping between this world and the next. What you're seeing may be a natural rhythm called chain stokes, a pattern of deep breaths followed by long silences. It can be unsettling, even frightening, but it's not suffering. It's the body's way of preparing for stillness. Alongside this, their circulation begins to retreat. Hands and feet grow cold, like the warmth is being pulled inward. Skin may pale, even turn bluish at the fingers or toes. It's not something we're ever truly ready to see. Someone we love slowly losing the light that once radiated from their face, their touch, their presence. Even small movements, sitting up, shifting in bed, can leave them gasping. What once felt effortless now takes everything they have. And you, standing there, may feel powerless. You want to help, to fix it, to ease their breath. But sometimes, there's nothing more to do than be there. Some may develop a soft, wet cough or a faint rattle in the chest. Not because they're sick with a cold, but because the lungs, too, are slowing down. Might not be able to lie flat anymore, instead propping themselves up with pillows or finding peace in a quiet recliner. Breathing, once automatic, becomes a task they must navigate slowly, carefully, and with your patient presence. And it's here that we must shift focus, not to curing, but to comforting, to holding their hand, cooling the room, offering sips of water, wiping their brow, and simply sitting beside them without asking for anything in return. Because what they need now isn't more effort, it's acceptance. What they need most isn't another treatment, it's your love, your calm voice, your reassuring touch, your quiet strength when they feel weak. These final changes aren't to be feared. They are part of the body's way of saying, I've done all I can. And when we meet these moments with grace, we don't just witness the end, we offer peace during it. So if you see the breath slowing, the hands cooling, the light softening, don't turn away. Stay present, stay gentle. Because in their final hours, what matters most is not how much we do, but how fully we love. Final thoughts. When presence becomes the greatest gift, as we close this tender conversation, I invite you to pause and breathe with the weight and grace of what we've explored. Drastic weight loss, unshakable fatigue, the quiet unraveling of the mind, infections that linger, and finally, the slowing breath, the cooling hands, the soft fading of life's rhythm. These 5 signs may arrive gently, almost invisibly at first. But when they appear, they speak with a truth that cannot be ignored. And yet, it's human to want to resist them, to urge our loved ones to eat a little more, walk a little farther, try a little harder. We hold on, not out of fear, but out of love. Because letting go feels impossible when it's someone we can't imagine life without. But here's what matters most. When we choose to honor what the body is saying, rather than fight it, something shifts. The goal is no longer to fix, but to feel. We stop striving for more time and instead start savoring the time we still have. Recognizing these signs isn't about giving up, it's about showing up. With peace, with presence, with a heart wide open to love, even when words grow quiet. This is your chance to create stillness in the chaos, to offer dignity in the decline, to fill their final days with gentle touch, warm memories, and the reassuring message that they are not alone, that their life mattered, and that they are deeply, unconditionally loved. So I ask you now, what touched you most today? What will you carry forward, not just as knowledge, but as compassion? Whether you're walking this road now or someday will, your love, your care, your awareness can make all the difference. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. We read every word. And if this video brought you clarity or comfort, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe. Together, we're building a space of understanding for the tender moments we don't often talk about, but all eventually face. Thank you for spending this time with me. May we continue this journey with wisdom, compassion, and grace in every chapter of life.